How's it going, everyone? College Lefty, and in this video I have for you all some viewer game highlights. I'm going to be focusing on Babe Ruth gameplay as well as some of the best cards in MLB The Show 19 Diamond Dynasty. I wanted to kind of focus on these cards simply because I recently made a video talking about some of the best cards in the game. I wanted to give you guys some example with some gameplay as well as talk a little bit about some thoughts that I had about the recent games. I mean, recently I've been playing mainly viewer games. I've been trying to get as many games in against you all as possible, give everybody a good shot to play. And we've probably gotten about 40 games in since making World Series for that Babe Ruth. And a lot of these games have been really good, back and forth games. You guys are really good players at the game and really help me out. I know I've said that in previous videos, but it is true. I mean, some of these games are back and forth, as well as sometimes you're able to you guys are able to pitch really well against me, completely shut me down at the plate. Recently, I have kind of gone into a little bit of a slump. At this point in the stream, so everything was going pretty well. I mean, yes, I was getting some squared up hits that resulted in outs. Sometimes I was getting a nice late base hit. It seemed like in some of these viewer games, the wind was blowing in for some of the games, so that can play a big factor. I'm hoping in the future for MLB The Show 20, the developers kind of take wind out of play for friendly games, especially if there's going to be esports tournaments using friendly games for qualifiers and stuff like that. But basically, I think these games are really good practice. We play 3-inning games. If the games are tied, where they kind of go back and forth, they're tied after 3, then we will go ahead and play one extra inning game, or one extra inning to decide the game. And if it's still tied, then we will go ahead and send a friendly quit and just friendly quit out of it, give everybody a fair shot to play. I just wanted to kind of focus this video on some Babe Ruth highlights. I've been recently using him a lot in these viewer games. I have yet to play a game of ranked seasons. I wanted to kind of test him out in left field, test him out in right field, and now I think I've used him for enough games to kind of decide that he is a really good defender out there. He gets some pretty good animations. I have been able to make a couple diving plays. I still think that Willie Mays is the best all-around outfielder in the game in terms of defense, in terms of speed. There we saw, I mean, in the previous couple clips right there, Willie Mays threw a runner out at the plate, and then the opponent hit one out with him taking the lead there, and now we have a chance to come back. Babe Ruth hits a home run. Some of these cards that I'm using, some of the cards that my opponents are using in these viewer games are the best cards in MLB The Show. The players that you'll see consistently are guys like Chipper Jones, you know, Willie Mays, Rogers Hornsby, Griffey, players that I had listed in that most recent video. I think if you're able to build a pretty good team or a team of those players, you can get lucky. You can get rewarded on swings like this where I was completely underneath the ball. Babe Ruth, I dropped a PCI. He still hits it out. It was a no-doubter animation, even though you didn't really see it there. There was no chance for him to rob that one. Kind of interesting. I noticed some weird gameplay in some of these games. I noticed some well-hit balls that just didn't really go anywhere. I'm thinking that that had something to do with wind. I also noticed a couple times where I was able to hit the ball and get rewarded on some swings where I probably, you know, could have struck out. I had some very early swings that resulted in hits. Just different things that are going to happen in this game. But for the most part, you all are really good at this game. It's a really good practice to play these 3-inning games on Hall of Fame. I use a random generator to go ahead and select these players, and we have had a lot of new people come over to the Twitch live stream from YouTube, so that's really nice to see as well. Some of these games are really intense. I mean, it comes down to every single out. It comes down to one swing of the bat sometimes. I think really anyone can win these 3-inning games, so don't be afraid to play. I like to clip all of these games while I'm playing them during the live stream to go ahead and kind of go through a lot of these games and just make highlight videos. It gives people a chance that are a part of the live stream to watch themselves play on the YouTube channel. I think that that's really awesome. I still have a lot of games to go through, so if you aren't included in this video, don't feel bad. I will try and include every single viewer game that I've most recently played. I'm going through all the clips. There's also going to be a brand new event a little bit later today. Might actually be live right around the time I'm uploading this video, and I will be hopping into that a little bit later, so we won't have any viewer games tonight. We might go ahead and mix in, you know, 1 or 2 at the end of the stream later tonight, but for the most part, I'm going to try and get that event finished, completed, try and get all the wins possible in that one, get those vouchers for the Xander Bogaerts and the Max Scherzer. But I think that those cards will be pretty good to have. I'll probably sell the Bogarts and keep the Scherzer. But I mean, in these games so far, I felt like even in some of the games that I won, or that I was able to get the win, I still got outplayed. I still did not really deserve to win, if that makes sense. Sometimes I gave up some line drives, some great hits that I thought should have been base hits. I also gave up some late hits that resulted in runs that I probably shouldn't have given up. So it's a give and take. The game's that's gonna happen. That's kind of out of your control. There's nothing that you can really do other than focus on your pitching meter. And for the most part, I have been struggling with my meter, trying to get consistent feedback, consistent good feedback. I have noticed at times, even when I do, the pitcher still throws the ball over the middle of the plate. I noticed playing in these 3-inning games, the stamina is a big factor, and you really have to watch that energy bar, simply because anytime it goes into the yellow, I feel like it's much tougher to strike somebody out. It really makes it difficult to throw that blinking good pitch that hits the hoop. Here I throw an early changeup that could have easily resulted in a 3-run homer. And if I give up a home run in this situation, the chances of me coming back with 3 outs left are pretty slim. So even in the middle of the at-bat, I'm going to go ahead and take him out. This wouldn't really come into play during ranked seasons as much, unless you're late in the game where you want to try and take your pitcher out when he is using, or he's like 20-something pitches in, almost 30 pitches in, and he might have yellow stamina. In ranked, it does play a little bit of a different effect, though, in the 9-inning game than it would in the 3-inning game. But as you guys can see, Babe Ruth is pretty much carrying the team, hitting home runs, making the plays out there in left field. I kind of mixed him up. I was using him in left. I was using him in right. Once again, he is going to track this one down into the gap. I would like to have Willie Mays make more of these plays if possible. But what I've noticed is sometimes it's tough to switch off from Babe Ruth to Willie Mays. Sometimes Babe Ruth will be jogging out there. I put him in right field. Sometimes he's jogging to the baseball, allowing an extra base here and there. But for the most part, I will take that. I mean, silver fielding, I will take that basically because he is the best hitter in the game, in my opinion. I think him and Ted Williams are the 2 best hitters. They're both left-handed. That is probably the best preference for me, as well as the way that they swing the bat with the 2-handed swing. Ted Williams has a little bit of a quicker swing, but Babe Ruth, his bat kind of goes through the zone a little bit longer, I would say. And as long as you get the right timing, you're going to square everything up with that card. He just seems to hit the ball hard every time, even in some lineouts. But basically in this game right here, Ultimate Saiyan got something going in the first inning with Tony Gwynn. Tony Gwynn is another really good card. Haven't really seen too much gameplay from him so far. But this was right around the time when I started to go into a little bit of a slump. I was missing the ball a lot. That one was actually good squared up with Babe Ruth. I still dropped a PCI, though, at the last second. This one I lined out with Pablo Sanchez. We recently got some new emotes over on Twitch. We have a Pablo Sanchez emote, so I was excited to have that for the stream. But really didn't really get anything going with him in some of these games. I was grounding out into double plays on pitches that I could hit. Also, at this point in the game, felt like I was playing all right, though. I felt like I was hitting the ball okay, just didn't get rewarded on some of the swings. I even felt that double play ball I hit a little bit better. I was probably on top of it, you know. I was expecting to hit the ball a little bit harder at times than what actually happened. Now, Ultimate Saiyan gets a 2-run shot. He won that game, and he outplayed me up until that point when he hits that home run. He definitely deserved to win that game. But it can always come down to, you know, one swing of the bat. There was a couple runs in that last one. Here, Lil Nick is someone who played really well in this game. I have beaten him the last few times we've played, and he was able to get something going early on. I'm trying to make a comeback. I felt like this one could have easily been a home run, a no-doubter. I felt like I was on it. Just didn't really carry. He makes the play out there in left field, and that's going to happen. I'm going to try and continue to have good at-bats. Felt like that was a pretty good pitch to hit. If I wait on it maybe a little bit longer, send it into the gap, it's a double, but I hit it right to center field, and he gets, you know, a late base hit up the middle that bloops in for a single. Sometimes the hits fall, sometimes they don't, and generally it does lead to a big hit. If you're not able to get those out, sometimes the good players are going to be able to extend the inning. They're going to be able to get that big 2-out rally going. And that's exactly what Lil Nick did right here with Gary Sanchez, the gold Gary Sanchez. He ends up winning that game. And these games are really good. I don't mind losing, especially against the viewers in this specific game. I want you guys to watch all these hits from Ninja Bowers here. He's playing in a rematch. He got picked 4 days in a row, 4 viewer game streams in a row, which is quite the record. I think that might be the most consecutive times anybody's ever won these viewer games. It's not really the most likely thing to happen, but so far he's had 2 line drives that resulted in outs, followed up by a line drive base hit. If those previous hits fall in, that's a run right there. He's got nobody down and potentially 2 guys in scoring position, or first and third situation. Gets a base hit here with Miguel Cabrera. That could be 4 consecutive hits in this inning, and it's still 0-0. I got out of it, and he probably should have scored a couple runs. Then followed up, I thought that this ball was going to be caught, had some topspin on it. Line drive from Cody Bellinger. And I believe we ended up winning this game 1-0. I just kind of wanted to focus on some of those clips. I know I've played Ninja Bowers quite a few times. I have a lot of games to go ahead and go through as well, but I wanted to try and get these clips for you. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. I'm College Lefty, and I'll see you guys later. Peace out.